Shalom, Israel. I wanted to. I've been trying to avoid weighing in on this situation with August Alsina. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith and all of that shit. It's just like the spirit is. It's like so much. First off, whether it was set up or not, I don't care. I think a lot of times when brothers go into the conspiracy theory of things, it kind of takes away from the overall point. It kind of takes away from the mission. It kind of takes away from the lesson that is to be learned from the situation. So here's what I had to say about it, and this is just assuming it's real, right? Just assuming that he really did slap him and that it wasn't staged, right? I'm not saying I actually believe it, but if it's staged, it's staged. Like, I don't know what anybody has to gain, from staging that, other than the further embarrassment of black people. But here's where shit, fucking sunlight, Salak. Oh shit. Oh, all right. So here's what I have to say about it, because I don't want to take up too much time researching and going back. I was watching the original Red Table Talk with Will Smith and his wife on TV. First and foremost, what those two people do in the privacy of their, whatever, doesn't concern none of us. Our concern and focus should be on getting the fuck out of here. Keep teaching our people, and when we delve too much into Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, it goes into the scriptures. It goes into gossip, and the scriptures tell us not to gossip. Yeah, we are judges. He that spiritual judgeth all things. But to judge that situation, to judge that situation properly, you're going to have to be privy to information that you are not privy to unless you're in that circle. The bottom line is we'll never know what actually happened behind the scenes. What I can say is that in a worldly sense, because like I said, I watched that Red Table, whatever. What I can say is that they were quote unquote broken up, and this is what part of the problem is, and this is what we really have to focus on. The family structure in America, in Babylon, is totally fucked up. A married woman can opt to sleep with another man, another famous man, by the way. And then later on, somehow Will and Smith found each other again and realized, but what I want to focus on with the Red Table Talk is, the way he publicly was being emasculated, Will Smith, where the thing about permission came up, right? Where Will Smith allegedly gave August Alsina permission to deal with Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, the gossip around it has been for years that they're swingers. She's polyamorous, or they're polyamorous. When you read the scriptures, women are not supposed to be polyamorous. They're not supposed to be swingers. Men are not supposed to be swingers. Men had multiple wives. This is the way life has carried on for thousands of years, and nobody ever said that was wrong. It's only, in an effeminized society where, men are emasculated, where women have these indiscretions, and she said in the video, in the interview with Will Smith, the Red Table Talk with her and her husband, that the only one that can give permission for her to fuck with somebody else is her. So now you're already seeing the mentality of pretty much the average woman in today's society, where you don't look at your man as your head. You don't look at your man as your head. You think that you can make your own decisions in life. And she can, physically, but not morally. It's wrong. You don't fucking, as the woman, he's your head. He is your head. He is your Lord. And I'm not saying that on some misogynistic rhetoric, but that's just the way. I'll put it this way: for a Bible believer, the man is the woman's head and the Lord. If you're not a Bible believer, then that's a whole nother issue that we can discuss at a later date, or we don't have to discuss it. You'll just because Romans 3 and 4, for some did not believe, shall that make the faith of God without effect? God forbid. You don't have to believe. That don't mean God is going to stop his prophecies. And it also doesn't stop what side of his prophecy will you end up on, just because you don't believe. So, with that said, back to the Will Smith and Jada situation. This shit is more on him than it is anybody else. See, women will push buttons in today's society. They will do what the fuck they want. And unfortunately, because these women have the ability to literally do what they want, you men have to stop putting so much on yourselves for these women. Because that love it becomes not love. It becomes simping. And besides simping, because simping is not a something that the Bible talks about like that. Not directly, of course. There's the word simp is not in the Bible, but it becomes it emasculates the man. And the man that's supposed to be the head, there's hardly any heads. There's hardly any households where men are the heads of nowadays. Women have leveraged that with their feminine society. And that's just simply what it is. Us as men that actually believe in the old way of doing things, we have to a lot of times compromise, and that compromise comes with feelings, meaning that I'm not going to allow myself to love a woman but so much if she's going to exercise her fucking right to her not God-given right but man-given right to rebel against her husband. It's only so much that I'm going to really love a female that does that shit. And it tore apart my last relationship, matter of fact. My last relationship, I was with a female that, loved me, so to speak. I was every fucking answer to all her prayers at first. But then when it came down to a lot of shit, whether she had, she will never admit that the man-hating aspect of herself tore up the relationship. Ultimately, she is a man-hater. And a lot of these women want to put men into subjection, and a nigga like me is not the one. So, what wound up happening was we had to break up because I am not. No, that you got the wrong nigga for that. I am the wrong man for you to think you're going to subjugate. Now back to the Will Smith and Jada and what lessons we have to learn here. She says to Will Smith, "Oh, there's only one person that can give permission about what I'm gonna do with my body, and that's me. So you feel entitled to fuck another dude." You know, which they, you know, it's. I'm not saying nothing that people don't already know. My body, my choice. Doesn't matter if I have a husband. You know, they might as well switch the terminology around. He's not your husband. Because if he's your husband, he's the only one that gets to plant in you, if you know what I... Because a husbandman is a farmer, right? That's where the term husband comes from. You know, because a husbandman is a farmer. And, you know, again, only, you know, like very much like a farmer has a farm, E-I-E-I-O, just being goofy. But the same way a farmer has a farm, a husband has a wife. And only he can plant seeds into that wife, if that's his wife. Now, you know, the mentality, when you're marrying a woman, you're marrying her mentality, the way she thinks and the way she is. Jada Pinkett Smith felt that it was perfectly fine for her to sleep. Even in this shit, when he said sarcastically that she has, what's the word he said, transgressions. She said she doesn't have transgressions because she learned from it and all that. Basically, she has no moral compass. She has no morals. It's pretty much just like women that say that they're polyamorous. They don't see the spiritual connection that you have when you have sex with somebody. Just a piece of flesh going inside of your piece of flesh, and that's it. There's no spirit connecting anything. And that's what the problem is in today's society. We look at sex like it's like, oh, it's just sex. Like, no, there's no such thing as just sex when you actually understand spirituality, God, and the Bible. You're not just having sex. And that's what you know, like we've taken the spiritual connection out of sex, because let's keep it real, sex is a great thing. It's a beautiful thing. It makes you feel great. But sex without an actual emotional connection just isn't the same. I don't know. I personally don't know how a nigga can just be piping bitches all day. Like, you know, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm Mr. Monogamous, but, you know, for me, it's just better having familiarity with the female that I'm smashing. You know, I have a lot of females that come in and out of my life over the years that I've, you know, been with. You know, that's kind of how my situation works. Until I find one that I can bear the rest of this kingdom with, the rest of this nightmare called Babylon the Great with, then that's pretty much how it's going to be. But there is something to sex that you just can't just give it to anybody. And while it did start with a lot of men with their indiscretions, you know, it kind of became a tool of empowerment for women. Like, just the other day, I saw on Instagram some women's brunch, women empowerment brunch. I guess I got a couple friends on social media that went to it, and one of them posted a picture of some fat bitch saying with a shirt that said "Pussy is power." Like, you're gonna go to a woman empowerment brunch, and if this is the type of shit that you're gonna put out there, it goes to show why women have to fight so hard. You know what I'm saying? Because they have acted the fucking fool. They have acted the fucking fool for quote-unquote equality. If that's the vulgar type of message you're going to put on a t-shirt, and that's what you call women empowerment, pussy is power, I wouldn't agree with, but I would be more inclined to respect you if the shirt said feminine energy is power. At least it's a more profound thing than your fucking body part. You know, but pussy is power was on that pig of a woman's t-shirt. And it really goes to show that a lot of y'all take up these causes and don't even take them seriously. You know, you reduce your cause to a slogan that's vulgar and stupid. You know, and when you look at the look on her face, she was totally proud doing it. She was happy, big smile on the fat bitch face. I can't imagine her metabolism is smiling, but she's smiling. And you know, it just to me it shows how fucked up of a society it is. Like, why women are in power? Why the fuck do you need to have a women empowerment brunch? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, y'all are, at least black women, y'all definitely rule the black community. Look at Will Smith and Jada. He just, and I'll just say the narrative is that he smacked a black man at the Oscars for quote unquote disrespecting her. And then you got all social media blowing the fuck up. Everybody has a goddamn opinion about it. But nobody has taken the time out to really analyze the situation and see how poorly directed Will Smith's anger is, because you're sitting here angry with everybody but the nigga who piped your wife. That nigga made a diss track called Entanglements with Rick Ross. Future, the greatest rapper that ever lived, constantly taking shots at you. But the person you choose to slap is a damn comedian. But like I said, that's assuming that it's not set up. But that's the society that we live in, where all this shenanigans happens. You know, I don't condone making fun of somebody that has a condition. But Chris Rock said he didn't know that Jada Pinkett Smith had alopecia. You know, it's like people put out things on social media, and then later on, when you don't know, oh, you didn't see that? You didn't see my post? No, I didn't see your post. Because supposedly what I'm hearing is that she's been talked about her alopecia on her show. So what, you think that Chris Rock watches your show? You know, I mean, even the fact that her last name is Jada Pinkett Smith. It's not Jada Smith. It should be Jada Smith. Because the concept, the spiritual concept is you left the house of Pinkett and now you are part of the house of Smith. That's why the scriptures tell you that they leave their houses and become one flesh. But they don't, you know, it's like people don't understand. Understanding the Bible, you're understanding life and the way you're getting but you're getting a book. You're getting knowledge that comes from the Creator. This is how society was intended to be. And he's even telling you in that same book, this is how society's gonna completely abandon the principles that I gave it and gonna do what the hell it wants to do. Lo and behold, that message falls on a lot of deaf ears. And again, this is not a misogynistic, I don't hate women. I don't think women, men are, supposed to be in positions of leadership over women, but men with these positions of leadership are also supposed to be righteous judges themselves. And we're supposed to guide everything properly. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. But, with this situation, honestly, man, I've heard nothing but shit about the situation. To the point where I'm now tired of it. It's boring already. Like, I'm tired of hearing about Will Smith and Jada, Will Smith and Chris Rock, like all day, every day. It's like, oh, Will Smith and Chris Rock, Will Smith and Chris Rock, Chris Rock and Will Smith. Like, yo, and it's we're not living in a time where women are under control. They actually do not feel that a man could or should control them. So that's where we're at with it. That's where we're at with it. And, again, that's just where we're at. So, ultimately, it really goes to the blame of Will Smith. Part of it, too, is, what the hell was Jada Pinkett's upbringing? That you can actually be a thought and still be married. Like, I don't know, this is why the scriptures talk about how corrupt this society is. This is a very corrupt society that allows people to say, hey, I can express my sexual freedom or whatever the fuck they say. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a relic of the old law or whatever they call people like me, or a dinosaur. But when you read the Bible, if you are going to be a Bible believer, this is what the Bible says is the rule for men and women. It's one man, could be one woman, could be 10 women. However many women the man can handle. And that's it. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like, I wanted to have a discussion. Of course, y'all agree, disagree, hit me on the comments. But yeah, it's just not good, not right, not proper for a woman to be airing out her dirty laundry like that. And I get it, it started with August Alsina, but it really started with Jada Pinkett Smith sleeping with August Alsina. Like, you have to take responsibility, because when she said that there were no transgressions, like, yes, bitch, there are transgressions. Like, I just don't understand how she feels. One thing I understand, they were quote unquote broken up. I get that part. But just the way she didn't even feel any type of guilt, like, oh, another man ran up in you and that's fine. No. Like, I mean, that's fine for Will Smith, I guess. And that's really where I'm going with it, because ultimately, at the end of the day, that's his wife, that's his life. I don't really care. The only thing I care about is the message that it sends out throughout society. And this is why a lot of women won't get married. because you're doing all that weird shit, but then you want a man to actually take you seriously. If a man takes you seriously, I argue he doesn't really care about you. He doesn't really take you seriously. How could a man take a woman that's getting piped out by other niggas while we're supposed to be together? How could you take that serious? But anyway, with that, I reached my destination. Shalom.